Welcome back, everybody. In this lesson, what we're going to do is to create our first pixel composer material. Finally, we're here. Finally, we'll start doing something. So this is going to be the final output of what we're going to create. We're going to create a nice little glowing orb material like this. And we're going to do that from scratch, no external tools whatsoever. And we're going to export it as a sprite sheet. I'll show you how to render and export that as a sprite sheet such that, let me just go ahead and see if I can quickly open up the folder where we have the exported version. Where are you? It's in my sprite projects. It's in dinosaur. I'm really sorry about my naming convention here. We're going to export it in this folder. And we're going to see we have this orb material, 32 by 32 pixel horizontal sprite sheet. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and let's begin. So I'll go to File and create a new file, a new blank empty file. And I'm going to close this one. Do you want to save this? Yes, I want to save it so that it's just hanging there somewhere. All right, so we've restarted Pixel Composer. Let's go ahead and create a new project. It's as simple as going to File and saying New File, and we have a new project. I'll just go ahead and close this. We have this blank empty project with nothing in it. So we want to create a orb, and it's going to be a circular orb. Do we have a node that can draw a circle? And also the orb is going to have a lot of grainy particle-like effects in it. So a lot of grids and squares. So the first thing I want to do is to bring in a node that can create random, small, noisy shapes for our orb. And that's going to be the noise node. So to bring in any node, right click like that, and then you type the name of the node. So here, I'll just say noise, and it's going to bring out a lot of them. Cellular noise, depends on what you want, but I just want irregular noise, not a Perlin noise, just the noise. And if you want to see what the other object is going to look like, for example, if I want to see what the Perlin noise looks like, I'll just do Shift A and I'll search for Perlin noise, this one. Just double click it and place it here. So we can see the Perlin noise is much more smoother, sort of like anti-aliased, and the regular noise is just super noisy like that. So depends on the one we want to use. I'll use the regular noise, but I'll keep the Perlin noise beside it just to say maybe I want to use it for something else. So now I need this to be in a circle because I have a noise and I want to place this in a circle. And to do that, Pixel Composer has the draw shape node. So I'll just do Shift A, or you can right click and search for draw shape like so. So we have two types, the draw shape fast and the draw shape. I'll just be using the draw shape and I'll just place it over here. Now on the draw shape properties, I'll just go over here and click this and change this to ellipse like so. So I can just have a circular ellipse because we want to create an orb. So now the thing that makes it Pixel Composer sometimes difficult or challenging to use is if I right click and I search for circle, I might not see that here, right? But we can actually see draw shape, and it's actually telling me that, hey, you can actually draw a circle with this draw shape. So it's just something to keep in mind. So we have a noise node and we have a draw shape node. How do I combine these two together such that I want this noise to be within the body of this draw shape, just like an orb? So to do that, there's a special node called the blend node. It's going to be one of your best friends in Pixel Composer or any node compositing software. And let's go ahead and bring in the blend. So I'll right click and I'll look for a blend like so, just this one, and I'll click on the blend node. Now the blend itself has some properties, and what I want to set the blend mode to is to set it to multiply. So I'll go over here, set that to multiply. And what that's going to do is take this noise pixels and apply them over this draw shape. So the noise is going to be in the background. So let's drag this, the output junction into the input junction of the blend node's background. So I'll just drag that. That's just to, I don't know why it's doing that. It's just, we just need to have a nice little checkerboard, nothing too complex like that. Good. Yeah. So let's take our draw shape output, colored output junction into the foreground. And now if we click on our blend, we can see our blend is now a circle orb with a lot of variations and noisy pixels in it. All right. So nobody wants to work with a grayscale blend material, right? If this was a pixel, we wouldn't want to work with this, except maybe we're working with an effect that it's black and white and all that. So what we want to do is to colorize this. And to do that, we're going to add a colorize node. And another way to add a node is to click the output junction and just release it. And it's going to open up that add node menu. And let's search for colorize like so. I'll just place this here. Now, if you're using an older version of, I'm actually using version 1.20.05, things change rapidly. The developer is very fast at changing the software. So some of these names might not be the names. You might see that they're called gradient or something else. It's totally fine. Just find out what name has changed and you can also have access to it in case you're using an older version. But this, as at 2025 November 16th, this is the, it's called colorize here. And what we want to do is, it's still grayscale. So let's look at the inspector here. So let's click on the gradient. And now we can see we have the, the dark section, and there's also the bright section at the end. So let's go to the dark section and let's set this color to something like some dark purple like that. And then for the bright section, let's look for some cyan. I gotta just place that like cyan, like so. And we'll just close this. So now if we click on that, we can see we have some bright blue orb. But what's an orb that does not glow? So let's add a glow node to make our orb glow. So here, I'll just go over here and drag this. And let's search for a glow like that. And I'll just place that glow. And we can click on that and see that glow is super high. So let's drag the intensity and set that to about 0.3. So this is the original, colorize, and now we're adding some of that glow over here. If we want, we can just step this down a bit to about 0.1, just slightly different from this guy. And what we also want to do is to render this out as a sprite sheet. So again, let's drag this out and let's search for render sprite sheet. This is it over here. Now, if we look at the render sprite sheet, we can set the sprite set. So whether it's an animation or a sprite array, let's leave it as an animation. And frame step, how many frames are you going to be skipping or counting? We'll leave everything by default here. So if I click on render sprite sheet, it's going to play and it's going to render a lot of these sprite sheets like that. They're going to be a single strip of 32 by 90 something pixels. That's the number of frames we have here. And now if we want to export this, all we need to do is to use, you guessed it, an export node. So I'll take this surface out junction, click on that, and I'll search for export like so. And click on this. If we had a tile map, we'll use export tile map. If we had a 3D mesh object, we'll use the mesh export. But I'll just click on this. Sorry, I'll just close that and just dropping the export. Now it's going to ask us for a directory. So I'll click the open export tab and I'll just go over to my Sprite projects here and I'll just leave it out there. Also, what we're going to do is to set the format type. So do we want a single image? So I'll just set this to single image or image sequence. I'll leave this as single image because Godot or Unity can chop and slice everything. Or we can leave it like that. And then our format output, we can just select what type of output we want to actually render this object, right? So we can do that, either PNG, JPEG, EXR, or BMP. So we'll just leave it at the PNG. So now if we actually hit the export button, it has exported that sprite sheet. And if I go to the folder where I have exported that sprite sheet, it's in my volume D, a sprite projects, and it's going to be somewhere out here. Yeah, here it is. It's the blue orb looking thingy. Here we have it. So we have our blue orb list in a 960 by 32 sprite sheet. So what if we actually wanted a 16 by 16 pixel document? That's totally straightforward. If we click on the general settings for the project, I can change the default size to 16 by 16. And now our entire project is going to be 16 by 16. Right, so you can see a 16 by 16. Everything is now 16 by 16, not 32 by 32. Or we can change that to a higher value. So I'll just set it to 32 by 32 pixels, like so that we can actually have this. So how can we improve this, right? So what we also need to do quickly is to save this. And I'll save that as orb2, like so. So I have my project. I don't want to lose my project after working so hard to create a supernatural glowing magic orb. All right. So now that we've created this orb, how can we improve this? The cool thing is you can create variations of this experiment and play around. For example, if I hit Control Shift A and I search for under generate, like so, actually look at this fold noise, and I think it's kind of cool. So I'll drag the fold noise and place it kind of here, double click it to see how it looks like. That's interesting. I can change the properties. I can change the iteration like that. I can change the stretch just to make it more foldy, make it look like more like, swirly kind of orb thingy. And then what I can do next is to combine these two with another blend node. But I have a blend node here already. So what I'm going to do is to click on this blend node, hit Control C and Control V to paste the blend node. I'll just drop it around here. So now that I've done that, what I'm going to do is to combine this with this one. So I'll take the output of my fold noise junction into the input of the foreground. Then I'll now take this one here, right? The output of the second blend, and I'll place it here like that. So I think I didn't really get that. Let's do it again. I didn't really get that. So I want to combine this, and this is already combined to create this. Now I need to combine this and pass this into my colorize. So I'll take this as the foreground and then take this one as the I'm confusing myself here. All right, so everything is going into the so these two, so I'll take, this one goes here and this one goes there like that, and then we'll pass this into the colorize section. I think that's what we want to do. So we have our first blend, which is the noise and combined with the shape. Next, we're going to take our fold and combine that. So take our fold noise and combine that with this, like that, in another second blend node. Then we can have our colorize like so. So it's just an additional way of creating some kind of like noisy, foldy material if we actually want to do that. All right. So we're having two of this. I don't want that. That's not what we want. So you can actually see how it is. So I have this one. I think the blend should come. So we have a blend combining these. Yeah, it's totally okay. And then this one. So this was the mistake. I'm not supposed to take this. This is not supposed to go in there, you're supposed to go in the foreground and then you go in the background like that. Very good. So this is what I actually wanted. So you can see how tricky it can be sometimes. So let's just quickly go over that. So we have our noise combined with our shape. We're blending it together. Then we're adding another, shape here of full noise. And we're blending that with the output of our shape with our noise so that we can have a blended output shape noise combination. We're colorizing, we're gluing, sending to a sprite sheet, and we're now exporting it as an object. And because I've changed that, if I go to export sprite sheet, it's going to create that. And then under export, I can change a different location and I can rename this object like so. All right, so I'll just put it on the desktop, maybe if I want to select folder. It's going to be on the desktop. And then I'm going to export this to the desktop, and it said it has exported already. So that's how we can create a nice little glowing orby thingy. And congratulations on creating your first material using Pixel Composer. In our next set of lessons, we'll be creating varying material. Now, before we go on, before we close, just wanted to quickly talk about something here. So most nodes are going to have 2 junctions or more. Sometimes a node can have junctions on the left and junctions on the right. That's how nodes can communicate with one another. So the nodes on the left are called the input junctions because they receive an input, and the nodes on the right are output junctions because that takes the data out of a node. And another thing I quickly want to mention is a mask. Whenever you see a node compositing software, a mask is simply a white or black or gray image that limits where data should be. For example, if we wanted to limit this noise to have a shape, let's look for a random shape node. So I'm just going to search for draw random shape node and place it here. Now you can see our entire node is going to be shaped like this thing, right? Because this is now a random shape. Everything's going to be shaped like that random shape node. And the cool thing with this mask is we can turn around with the seed. Hey, now we have a mushroom. So we have a orby, gluey, foldy mushroom type thingy, all because of this mask. And you can have more masks that can affect a region. So if I have a black mask and I wanted to affect this shape, I'll pass it in here and it's going to affect either the black, white, or the grayscale regions. And there are nodes we can use to create masks that can affect specific regions. So this is something I just wanted to mention, by the way. Thank you very much for watching. I don't want this video to be too long and too confusing, but that's how we can create our orby thingy, and we can just go ahead and get rid of this connection here by just clicking away so that we have our orb. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in the next one.